If you want to charge more for your brow treatments, you need to offer more than just the basics. I consistently earn more because I provide premium bespoke treatments that deliver undeniable results. And now for the first time ever, you have the chance to learn my custom techniques through my online video brow masterclass courses. These masterclasses are designed to help you take your brow skills and business to the next level. You'll learn how to perform premium ahead of the curve brow treatments that will help you stand out and attract higher paying clients. I'll guide you step by step in my full video demonstrations, teaching you everything you need to know about brow laminations, tints, hybrid tints, shaping, waxing, and what products you need to be using and how to use them correctly to get the best possible results every time. Just follow the link in the description below and get 15% off my exclusive brow masterclass courses by applying the code Huyana15 at checkout. But hooray, this offer ends August 15th. Now's the perfect time to level up your skills and start standing out in the industry. I'll see you in there. Hey baby girls, do you want to see an absolute brow transformation on these non-existent brows? Well, today I have my gorgeous friend Sharon in the studio and we want to create a set of brows to frame her face and leave the overplucked brows behind. But first we need to start by prepping the skin and brow area, and I'm using a cleanser to free the skin from any oils and makeup. She never usually does anything to her brows, but we decided to get her in the studio to see what we could create with the magic of a tint and shape. So Sharon, as you can see, was a victim to the overplucked brows back in the day, and they never grew back. Any young girl is watching this, let this be your lesson. Do not tweeze your brows. So the first thing I need to do is map the brows. So this is essentially going to give me my template to follow with my tint. So I need this to be perfect and as symmetrical as I can get them. And as you can believe, these are the hardest brows to do. In fact, these were harder than bold brows because she actually had a little bit of hair hiding, and the hair that she actually had was very unsymmetrical. So I tried my best to balance these out without taking away the little hair she had. And I'm also cautious not to make them too thick or too dark. So Sharon is used to looking at herself in the mirror with literally no eyebrows. So I'm mapping these in, but I can see straight away that these might be a little bit too thick. So I'm going to just make them ever so slightly thinner with a few little tweaks. There's two hairs which are completely different texture to her normal brow hairs. So I'm going to get rid of those because they're just going to be in the way and they're going to look untidy. Okay, so let's start stamping on this hybrid tint. So for anyone who doesn't know what hybrid tint is, this is a tint that is going to stain the skin as well as the hairs. So this is going to create a look like Sharon's got makeup in her brows. So this isn't permanent and the skin stain will only last around 10 days, but it will last a lot longer on the few hairs that she has. I know there's going to be some of you out there thinking, why the heck would you have this treatment when it only lasts 10 days? So obviously people with more brow hair will find this treatment will feel like it lasts a lot longer. But this is amazing for someone like Sharon, especially if she's going on holiday and she doesn't want to pencil her brows in the whole holiday in and out of that swimming pool, or she has a special occasion like a wedding and she wants to keep her brows in shape without worrying about makeup and if she's drawing them on right. So this is where I'm trying to create more detail in the bulb of her brow. So I'm just sketching in some hair-like strokes with the tint. And this is hopefully going to create a more softer bulb. I'm really cautious. I'm not going to make them feel too heavy in the bulb of her brow. As she's so used to not having any hair there at all, I don't want it to feel too overwhelming. Also, I know they look really dark at the minute, but you've got to trust the process. So I'm actually prepping the skin ready to be waxed. And you're probably also thinking, why are you waxing the brows when there's no hair there? But if you look really closely, there's actually a lot of vellus downy hair around the brows. And this is actually making the brows look a little bit messier and not quite as tidy as we would want them. So I'm just following the shape of my mapping lines and the tint and just waxing around that area while the tint is still developing. This is the first time Sharon had ever had her brows waxed, and I think she did quite well. Although she did tell me she absolutely hated the threading. As you can see, she doesn't look too comfy with me pulling out those little vellus hairs from around the brow area. Okay, baby girls, are you ready to see the brows? So I'm now just removing the bulb of the brow first, just making sure that colour's perfect. And then I'm going to carry on removing with a damp cotton pad to the rest of the brow. And honestly, these actually turned out better than I actually thought. Like I said, it's always quite hard doing brows that are non-existent because you're literally creating a whole entire new brow for them. And it can be a little bit daunting showing your client in the mirror as well, just because they're used to having no brows. And I always want to try and exceed their expectations. So before I show off the brows, I always like to use a couple of little makeup touches. One of the main reasons I like to use this little skin blur is because post-waxing always makes the skin around the brows look a little red, and this sometimes can make the brows look more obvious and not so subtle. So I just like to blend that out just to make sure the skin doesn't feel too red. And I want to do the same to underneath the brows, but this time I'm using a little bit of a thicker concealer. And this is also just going to enhance the shape a little bit and just create that little bit more definition that I would like. So I'm actually starting to feel a little bit nervous, wondering if Sharon is going to love her new brows or if she's going to hate them. Also, remember, I have 100 lights beaming on her face at this moment in time, so they do look a little bit darker than what they look like in natural daylight. So a top tip for you ladies out there with not much hair, sometimes just adding a little bit of concealer under the brows can really enhance the shape of your brow and make them appear fuller and thicker without actually penciling in any of your brow area. So this is a really good trick if you want to try and make them look a little bit thicker and fuller without making them look too heavy. And I also find it lifts the brow area, so it makes you look like you've got a little bit of an eye lift, which we all want, right? So I know these makeup touches that I'm now using are going to wash off as soon as Sharon washes her face, but I like to add a few hair-like strokes using a pencil to the bulb of the brow to create more dimension. And she's also going out afterwards, so I wanted to add a few more touches. So this is what I was working with, non-existent brows. And now just look at what I've managed to create using hybrid tint. I think they suit Sharon beautifully, and I think it takes years off her by adding a little bit more definition and shape to her face. So as Sharon was going out, I wanted to add a little bit more glam to her gorgeous face, and I'm adding a few little cluster lashes to give her eyes a little more volume and to make them look a little bigger. These cluster lashes are the greatest invention. I find they really make a difference and suit the mature eye without making them feel heavy and weighted down. This is really going to open up the eyes and make her feel absolutely gorgeous, ready for her night out. So these style of lashes only typically last the day and evening. So you can just take these off with your makeup at the end of the evening and they will have served you well. And this is Sharon's finished results. I think she looks absolutely gorgeous, and those lashes have really enhanced her eyes and made them pop. I think her brows have framed her face beautifully. Let me know what you baby girls think. Sharon actually loved her brows and wants them done on a regular basis. I think that's a win.
Took about 10 years off.
That's good, doesn't it?
Look at that.
You look nice, don't
Yeah. They look nice just poking through my hair a bit as well, like that.
they? So do you actually like them?
Yeah, I love them.
They look nice, don't they?
I love them lashes.